Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. All right, rock stars. So I'm gonna stay back from the camera because you guys, I did get my lashes done yesterday. However, I'm having some sort of reaction to the glue. So this eye is all red and flicked. Okay, so that's why it's all juicy. You can kind of see a little sparkle in it because it's just staying wet. Anyway, you guys, I'm on my lunch break, so I can't be fucking with you too long. First subject up is the situation with Tiny and Ti. Woo-wee. That escalated quite a bit, didn't it? All from the beginning of Glam University. What's her name? Sabrina? Sabrina coming out and saying that Ti had put a gun to her head. And, you know, that was the original post that got all of this started. Of course, when Tiny reacted and responded to Sabrina's post, it opened up the floodgates. And really, it has not stopped since, you guys. So, you guys know that it is legend here in Atlanta. I've heard the talk for years and years and years and years that Tiny and Ti are swingers and that they do participate in an alternative lifestyle when it comes to sexual relations with other people. That has been something that I have heard for years and years and years. And I totally believed that that was one of their special proclivities. What we didn't know was that people that they were involved with let the victims tell it, or saying that they were sexually abused, raped, kidnapped, held against their will. There was a lot of elements that was added to those sexcapades that I did not know. Now, when I heard the stories over the years, I just assumed that it was with people that was willing and able to do the same things, like the same things that, you know, Tiny and Ti did. But it quickly came out after Tiny and Sabrina had kind of their little back and forth for a second that there were a lot of people who felt like they were, you know, that they were taken advantage of, that they were raped, sexually violated, all the things, you guys. So first it was just talk. People were just putting out their stories, saying what happened. It got to be so many stories that you wondered if people were making up stories just to add to the conversation. But there was a core group that Sabrina had, you know, gotten together. And this core group, it's 4 ladies, from what I understand, have decided to press on with criminal charges against Tiny and Ti. And that now changes everything. Now, we know when all of the accusations first came out, Ti did do a video saying that any relationship sexually that he might have been involved in with his wife, that everybody that was involved, you know, that they gave their consent, they were with it, and, you know, they're not going to let these people, you know, say that they did these things against their will when that wasn't the truth. Okay. When he did that video, I was just like, maybe you should not have said anything, you know, because he did admit that there was some sort of sexual relationship. I keep saying relationship. It's not a relationship. Well, some of them, it looks like it lasted longer than other times. You know, they had like their regulars in different cities. But he was saying that they did want to do it, and that was the reason why they did it. Now, part of the accusations and part of the charges, when you read up on the investigation, they're saying that they were given drugs. Sometimes they were forced to take drugs, and other times their drinks were spiked and they didn't realize it. Whatever the case was, they're saying that they couldn't give consent when they are under the influence, okay, whether they wanted to be under the influence or not. So that is where the issue comes in, is whether or not they were, what is the word that I'm looking for? Whether they were in sound mind enough to even give consent. Okay. But some of the stories are very disturbing, and it's like, I know people have their special things that they like in the bedroom, but some of the stories are just like, wow, you would hope that people wouldn't be so sexually deviant where they would do something like this to somebody against their will. It's different if that's where everybody with it, then that's fine. Okay. But when you have somebody that you're forcing, or that you've drugged, or, otherwise have made them incapacitated and they can't do anything, then yeah, it's a problem. And the problem has grown exponentially larger because now we're starting to hear about deals that are being lost. Now, we already know that Tiny, Ti&Tiny and Friends, the show, they have put that on hold. I'm not sure if it's canceled or not, but they've put that on hold. Just yesterday I was driving and I heard that Ti will not be returning to the Ant-Man, part of the Marvel franchise. Ant-Man, of course, is one of the Avengers. And even though the Avengers has come to an end, nobody wants to lose a gig with Marvel Comics. That is something that could go on for a long, long time. And granted, he was not a main character, but you guys, you never know how these things can evolve and how he could have carried that character could have turned into something else. We've seen these things happen, minor characters get, more shine and bigger. And so when I heard that he's not going to be returning to Ant-Man, I know that was a blow. Okay. Because now you got Hollywood leaning in and saying, yeah, we they cannot support this. We've seen it over and over again, people losing deals and, behind activity and behavior such as this. So it's just really, really unfortunate. So now the question comes is whether or not they did it. Now, of course, they have not been found guilty. That's where it becomes too bad that if indeed people are, well, the problem is that they've already been tried in the court of public opinion. Okay. And so that, you haven't been able to go through your case. You haven't been able to fight. There's an investigation going on, but with all of the rumors and all of the stories and the talk that's been, swirling around, these companies now have to react. And of course, on the negative end of that is Ti&Tiny now. If they did it, then you can't get away with, these kind of things. You just can't get away with. We've seen a lot of people who are starting to get called to the table for their sexual abuse and, quite frankly, rape of people out there. So if they did indeed do it, then, this is just kind of the reason. This is the result of that kind of behavior. But, I don't know if the investigation finds that they didn't do it, and if these girls, if their stories are not upheld in court and they Ti&Tiny are found not guilty, well, look at all of the stuff that they've lost in the process, but that's what it is. It's a legal process. You have to go through these things. And because of social media, of course, that's why we know more about these cases, and that's why it blows up, and that's why people have to sometimes prematurely make judgment calls and make decisions, such as losing gigs and losing jobs and things like that, in the process. So it's a lot. When I opened up my New York Times app the other day and I saw that they had a story in there about Ti&Tiny, I was like, okay, now it's really big now. We done made it to the New York Times. Yes, it is. This is a big deal. And I don't know. I don't follow the Glam University girl. I don't follow her. So whatever I hear is always just going to be on the blogs or, people send me things. But wow, it's going to be a lot. Carrie, is a lot going on with that. So when we know more, I will definitely let you guys know more. What do you guys think about that, though? Do you believe that the stories that are out there are true? Do you believe that these victims were just that, victims, or do you believe that they were willing participants who have now jumped on the bandwagon? Because I've heard people say that too, that they've jumped on the bandwagon and are now trying to look for whatever, notoriety, money, whatever. You guys let me know what you think about it. But yeah, it's bad times for Ti and Tiny. All right, you guys, next story up. Let's talk about AndreLeonTalley. Okay. It looks like he's lived in his home in White Plains, New York, since 2004. Evidently, the CEO of Manola Blahnik, Mr. George Malcolmus, and his husband Andrew, they bought the property, and with excuse me, and with the understanding that AndreLeonTalley was going to be staying there and that he was going to be paying the rent. That is depending on who you ask, though, because AndreLeonTalley says that, yes, they bought the home. The intention was for him to move in and for him to pay the rent until he paid up the amount of the full purchase of the house that they bought at the time in 2004. Once he did that, then they would transfer the title over into his name and the home would then become his home. Okay, so 2004, over the years, he's been paying rent or whatever. They said that Malcolm has said that the rent amount that he would pay them would change according to whatever his income was at the time, but he had been paying. In 2014, evidently, they would have leases all the way up until 2014. They'd done away with the leases, okay? But AndreLeonTalley was still staying in the home, and he was still paying them rent, and he was still paying for maintenance and, you know, updates or whatever he was doing in the house, okay? Now, last year, November, Malcolmus and his husband, they filed an eviction, all right? And they want either him to buy the house, $500,000, or he needs to go. AndreLeonTalley countersuited in January and said, no, he's not giving them $500,000 because he believes over the years he's given them way more than that, okay? And that he feels like he's already paid the amount for the home. He feels like they didn't hold up the original deal of moving this title over into his name, and that is why they are now in court. Now, people are thinking that he was broke and that he could not pay his rent, but that is not necessarily what the situation is. However, there was a person who started up a GoFundMe for Mr. Talley. How embarrassing. I'm sure that that's not what he wanted. As a matter of fact, he came out and thanked everybody for the love and the support and reaching out and trying to make sure that they help him. However, he feels that GoFundMe is not necessary because that's not really the case. It's not the fact that he don't have the money. It's just the principle is I already paid you fucking the money and you still trying to get this money out of me. Okay. One thing I forgot to tell you guys is that all of these arrangements that they had starting in 2004, there was never anything written down. Mr. Talley called it a gentleman's agreement, and it was just a verbal agreement. So that is where things get real fucked up, and, you know, it's a he say against he say situation. But yeah, Andre says he don't need the money. Thank you so much. You know, and so I don't know what happens to the GoFundMe, even though I think as of yesterday, it only had $8,500 in there. And I think they're trying to raise, what, $500,000? So yeah, I don't think that, you know, the goal is too close, but yeah, that's the situation there. So no, AndreLeonTalley is not necessarily broke. It is just that he does not want to pay any more money to these people because he felt that he has paid it all up already. The thing to me is, though, is like, why were you continuing? Like, you was just gonna keep on paying all the way. I mean, it was 2020. You know, I guess he was, you know, it just seemed like at some point you should have been like, let me get with my accountant and see how much I've spent, you know, doing this, that, and the other, paying rent, doing shit on the house, and then maybe it was time for you to sit down with Mr. Malcolmus and his husband, and you guys come to something else. But see, now it's been got messed up, and it's almost like it sounds like they're treating him like he's a squatter and that they want him out of the house. So it's a whole lot and it's messed up. But, and you know, we hear these kind of stories and things like this happening all the time. Of course, AndreLeonTalley being who he is, that's why the story is so big. But it's just a classic case of give me my money or get out. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. I guess if AndreLeonTalley could prove that he's paid all this money, then maybe he will have a case on his hands. I hope he does. I'd just be ashamed to be living in the house and paying all that money and then just being out on your ass one day. Okay, it don't seem right. It ain't sitting right with my soul. So yeah, you guys. Anyway, if I know any more about the story, I'll definitely let you know. But that's what the situation is on Malcolmus and Talley. All right, you guys, so the Golden Globes was this past weekend, Sunday. I did not watch the Golden Globes because, and I was feeling kind of weird that I wasn't watching it Sunday because I was fully aware that they were on and everything, but something, I don't know, I just was not really in the mood to watch the show. And a lot of it is because I ain't seen none of the movies. Well, I have seen some of the movies, but the season don't feel the same with coronavirus fucking up everything, you guys. So I just wasn't in the mood and I didn't watch it. So I did today just go back and look because many of you guys were asking me to talk about the Golden Globes. And I can tell you what went down. So they said that, so first of all, we had Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, right? They were the hosts. A host duo team, and from what I understand, they did well. I like both of them, and I think that they work well together, so good for them. They're like the white not Tina, what the child name is? Tisha Campbell, and Tashina Arnold, child, my memory. Anyway, I can tell you the big winners of the night. So Nomadland and Borat subsequent movie film were the big winners of the nights when it comes to Best Picture. Nomadland won for drama. Borat subsequent movie film, I'm assuming, was for comedy. As far as our brothers and sisters, you know. I can tell you that John Boyega won for Best Supporting Actor for a TV series or a small, like a mini series for the show Small Axis. Daniel Kaluuya won Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role for his role in Judas and the Black Messiah. And from what I understand, his speech was muted. I was like, oh, that's not good. I'm sure whoever was responsible for that no longer has a job. Congratulations are in order to Andra Day, who won Best Actress in a Drama for The United States versus Billie Holiday, which I did watch this past weekend, which she did an excellent job. You would never know that this woman had never acted before on TV or a movie or otherwise, okay? I thought she did excellent. It was a story that I was not familiar with. I mean, I knew that Billie Holiday, of course, had drug addiction problems, but I did not know that she was in and out of jail, and I didn't know that the FBI was riding her so hard and all around them trying to, keep her from rallying the Black people around the song Strange Fruit. So yeah, it was really, really good. Definitely a watch. And like, Bondi said, just heartbreaking to know that, the government has they just hounded that Black woman. They hounded her and made her life miserable. She ended up dying from, cirrhosis of the liver, but she, even on her deathbed, they was in the hospital trying to get at her. So you guys you have to watch the movie. She did an excellent job. So she deserved that. And I told you guys that there is some Oscar buzz, so we'll see what happens there. And then Chadwick Boseman won for Best Actor in a Drama for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Okay, which the movie itself to me was not good. It was definitely, you could tell it was a play. It didn't translate well for me. However, I thought the acting in everybody was great. I thought that Viola Davis did great, and I thought that Chadwick Boseman did fabulous. So much dialogue that they learned in that movie. Oh my God, they talk so much. So yeah, congratulations to him. Of course, Chadwick Boseman did die last year, so his wife did accept his award. And it was very, very touching. I actually did see that on YouTube. So those were the big winners. Also, the movie Soul on Disney, Pixar, you know, the movie Soul. That movie did win for Best Animation. Okay. So that was going on. While I was reading the article, I saw that they said that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association does not have any black voters. I was just like, how do you not have black voters on your team? I mean, was anybody listening when the little thing called Black Lives Matter movement happened last summer and everybody was talking about black people being included, and that many companies was, you know, taking the steps to add at least one black person to their board so that they wouldn't fall under the scrutiny of everybody, you know, being upset that there were no black people. And then you got somebody like the Hollywood Foreign Press Association that has to deal with, I mean, this is not the first time that they've heard that black people need to be represented in Hollywood, in acting, you know, with nominations for the Oscars, for the Golden Globes, and even musical nominations like the Grammys. Why ain't nobody decided to at least put one black person on the voting thing? Not a one, you guys. So that was actually pretty discouraging. I was just like, well, you know, you would think that certain things move forward and then you just be like, nope, it's still the same. So now, of course, Hollywood Foreign Press Association has put out all these statements saying that, you know, that has to change, you know, for sure. They have to have more black people on the, I was just like, I mean, but why y'all ain't knew that already? Is what I'm saying. Did you really think that you were going to get away with it? Craziness, you guys. I'm telling you, we come so far and then we look around and we still in the same place. So, yeah, that's what's happening there with the Golden Globes. Did you guys watch it? Were you happy with the winners? I saw that Schitt's Creek won, and I was like, I thought that show was off. They still winning? Didn't they win a whole bunch last Golden Globes? Like, I'm just like, okay. But anyway, you guys, that was what was going down at the Golden Globes. Also, you guys, while we talking about movies and whatnot, it's Coming to America. Coming the #2 America, that does come out tomorrow on Amazon Prime. So for you guys who don't have Amazon Prime, you ain't gonna be able to see the movie. Okay, so y'all go on. Maybe Amazon Prime has some you know, free trials that you could take advantage of so you can see the movie. I am excited about seeing it. Looks like they have the original cast there, plus some people that they have added to the cast. But it looks like it's going to be a good ass time of laughter, and just what we need in these days and times, you guys. So if you guys were in the Roxy Reads book club, then you guys could join us because we are having movie night tomorrow. We usually have movie night once a month, and we will be having it tomorrow night, and we're going to watch it all as a group and laugh and have a good ass time, you guys. So yeah, that was my shameless plug for Roxy Reads book club. We would love for you guys to join us just on Patreon. So yeah, y'all, here go the link right here. If you're interested, we would love to see you there. All right, let's move on to the next. All right, you guys, real quick, congratulations are in order to a few people. First, we got Bambi, who is the beloved wife. You know, West Coast is the best coast. She's from LA. She's from Compton, but, you know, still we say LA. And she announced that she and Scrappy are infanticipating. Okay, you guys, this is baby number 3. Okay, and we know they had a rough start. She, I think, had a miscarriage, if I remember correctly, when she first got pregnant. And then after that, you guys, it's been fine. And she has stair-step kids now. So she has her little boy that was born first. They just had the little girl That little girl's not 2. I don't even think the little girl's 2 yet. She's the cutest little thing, you guys. And now they have a 3rd baby. So even though it looks like they might be having some issues on Love and Hip Hop, you guys, in real life, they at least know how to meet up in, in a good way, one way or the other. And, their love has been consolidated and confirmed and, has, what's the word I'm looking for? It's come together like this. And, this is Joe. Hold on, you guys.
Hey, hello?
What's up, Joe? All right, you guys, I'm sorry. That was my son, Joe. But anyway, you guys, what was I saying? So, yeah, Bambi and Scrappy, they working on baby number 3. I feel like this next baby is going to be another girl for some reason. I'm getting girl vibes. And I'm telling you, I've been on it. Everybody that I've been saying that I thought they were going to have a boy or a girl, they had the boy or the girl, like I said. So, congratulations to them. Also, congratulations to Ashley and Michael Darby, okay, from Real Housewives of Potomac. She did give birth to her new little baby boy. I haven't seen this baby, but I'm assuming this baby looked just like the last baby, then that baby looked like Michael. Actually, I could see Ashley's little, elf-like ears on the baby as well. The last baby is cute. Okay, I haven't seen the new baby, but sometimes the babies got to grow into their faces, child. It's okay. She's another story, had a miscarriage at the beginning and, had trouble carrying. And then now, she's on baby number 2. I don't know if they're going to have any more, but they seem to be pretty happy. I'm sure we'll see this new baby on the next season of Real Housewives of Potomac. And no, I don't know anything about the new girl that's supposed to be on Real Housewives of Potomac. I hadn't heard that they were bringing somebody back, child. I try to disconnect my mind from the show when it is not on. I can't be thinking about Real Housewives of Potomac right now. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Congratulations to everybody and their new babies. All right, you guys, so next story, let's talk about Benzino and his daughter, Coi Leray. This is his oldest daughter, and they have been going back and forth on social media because she is unhappy with his role as a father in her life. Now, first of all, before we even get on this story, you guys know it's already been established that Benzino don't have all his marbles. Something is definitely missing there. The elevator don't go all the way up to the top. The light bulbs ain't lighting. All the crayons ain't in the box, however you want to say it. Benzino is unstable, okay? We've seen it because even before I knew Benzino on Love and Hip Hop, I can remember reading up on a story of him seriously harassing and going back and forth with an employee of his when he was, did you guys know he's the founder of The Source? So there was a woman there. It was a big expose that was done about him and this woman and how he just, actually, she was the woman was on a reality show too. Now I can't think of who it is, but anyway, I remember reading stories about him a long time ago about him just being a touch bit off. Okay. And then, he showed up on he showed up on Love and Hip Hop. And, when he first came on, I mean, he seemed like just a regular dude. I mean, rapper type and braggadocious and, all of that. However, he just seemed like he was a regular dude. So then I was like, oh, maybe he wasn't. But then as time went on and, he got into the confrontation with Jocelyn and, him and Althea hooking up and having a baby. And then all of the drama that has surrounded Benzino and Althea. It just was way too much. And I feel so sorry for her that she has a child with him and that she has to deal with him. And now, I don't know if Althea's got it all there either. Because, if you're going to be getting involved with Benzino to the point where you be having babies and everything, like, you must have thought he was okay at some point. Yeah, they've had all kind of craziness. A police call to the house and, you know, driving off and all kind of carrying on in front of the house and fighting and yelling and all of this. So it's been established that Benzino is, you know, got a few screws loose. Okay. Now, Coi, his daughter, evidently she is on a song. Oh, Lord, I didn't get the name of the song. But she is featured on a song for some rapper. I'm sorry, you guys. And on the song, she talks about, there's a line where she says something around the ways of, I'm paraphrasing for you, but she mentions the fact that her father was not there for her growing up. Okay. And evidently Benzino was not happy about this. All right. And he took to social media to go off on the daughter, because he was not happy. He said that he has other kids, you know, who were raised the same way that she was, in a nice big mansion, and got everything that they wanted, and they would never talk about their father like this. Well, I mean, every child has a different experience with their child, okay? So I guess Coi didn't see it the same as her brothers. But anyway, he went on and had some pretty bad things to say about his daughter. And so she then got onto social media and said how her father was super whack, that he has this elevated sense of self, that he, you know, believes that he's so powerful, and there's so many people, you know, so many parents in the rap game and hip hop or whatever that have the same type of relationship with their children that she has with her father, you know, that he was not there. She said that her father told her that she needed to be a boy because I guess he would have treated her differently. And, you know, she was just saying, she was basically like, fuck him. You know, she said that she had just recently spoken to him and she thought that they were on the same page when she told him that she needed him as a father in her life, that he had been absent. She said that they had, you know, really talked about it and had what she thought was a meeting of the hearts, you know, in agreement that their relationship could take some mending, and, you know, that they were both on the same page where they were going to work hard at it. And then she says he comes out with this public statement. Well, of course, he's reacting to what she said in the song, and she feels like she had already told him, you know, that, so it shouldn't have come as a surprise in the song. But I guess he feels stabbed in the back. So anyway, it's these hurt feelings that's going around. She's been out there. She did finally come back out and say she's acting out of character. She's not ready for this attention. She obviously is still very mad with her father, still very hurt, still has some things that she has to work through. She probably should not have said anything. Okay. And, yeah, she probably shouldn't. But then also as a parent, you know, sometimes you just hope that parents and their children will work things out off of social media. When you start to bring everybody in, then of course nothing gets resolved, because you've got all these new opinions that are weighing in that puts a strain on either side, and it just makes things way worse. So that's what's happening with Benzino and his daughter. I mean, I hope that they are able to work it out. You know, you only have one mother and one father, you know. Of course, you don't always have relationships with those mothers and fathers. I do understand that as well. So, but while he's still on this earth, you know, and she's still here, I'm just really hoping that them two can, you know, fix the problem and, first of all, get off of social media. Okay. So yeah, that's what's happening there. Benzino and Coi not seeing eye to eye.